The college football experience week 0 reaction show on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Yes, that's WynnBET. That's WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by us. Yes, the college football experience. Get ready for the college football season by checking out all 131 college football team previews and podcasts. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/CFB.
This is Jim Mora, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience week 0 reaction show. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Oh, it was so great having live football games on, multiple games, even though it wasn't a regular week. It was still fantastic. I am joined by my co-host. Next week he will be in studio, I think, for this if we arrange it. But he's still here, so what does it matter, folks? Give it up for the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, former JMU Duke defensive back Patty C in the place to be.
Hi-oh! Up.
It was glorious. It was horrible. It was awesome. It pissed me off. There were highs and lows, and it was only week 0.
And everything in between.
Yes.
College football is back, baby.
It is officially back, and what a
it's easy to see a tide turn.
I mean, I just ate shit. I just ate a huge pile of shit on my my New Mexico State projections, but I'm not going to panic. Because New Mexico State just threw it. They had 5 turnovers. I think 4 of them inside the 30 in scoring position, and the last one being the one that would have had me cover. I know it still would have been a loss for the win total, but would have been nice to cover that one. I'm not panicking though, because I think they found their quarterback. Hopefully they can find a few wide receivers who can catch the ball. I still feel like when I look at that schedule, they'll be able to like that. To me, the
You're
UTEP
talking
game,
about New Mexico State, obviously.
Yes,
you mentioned that, right?
Yes, I know that. And we should probably start with a bigger game, but I just want to key in that I'm not panicking yet. Don't panic yet. It's week 1. Let them build it like Lance Leopold. All right. They still got UTEP in 2 weeks. Right? Yeah, they got UTEP in 2 weeks. They got Hawaii, which is looking like a fucking slam dunk win right now. FIU, New Mexico, UMass, Lamar.
What did
Trust
UTEP
the process.
do today again? What did
they got beat down by North Texas.
Yeah, 31-13.
So I think that could be a winnable game.
It's 2.5 is the number for
yes.
New Mexico State.
Hawaii and Lamar are going to be wins, right?
Yeah.
But then you have UMass, New Mexico, Florida International, UTEP. Oh, winnable. Don't panic yet. Do not panic yet.
You think that a team that's been routinely good just because they lost their head coach was gonna get beat outright? No. Okay. Nevada is still a good program.
Dude, they did not look good though. I mean,
I
would say
they took a step back. But
I will say this though. They looked a little bit they looked a little bit better than where I had them projected.
Yeah, you guys were assuming they're gonna like fucking fall off the face of the earth.
the 5 turnovers, Pat, they weren't like the defense was blistering. It hit like multiple turnovers that hit the receiver right in the fucking hands, and it goes up in the air and it gets intercepted. It was an incredibly frustrating game from a gambling point of view, but
game 1 under Jerry Kill.
Yes. And look, I think everyone is talking. Yes. GBO Farms coming at Terrell Furman because Vanderbilt, let's look, congrats to Vandy, but I watched some of that game. I think Hawaii is by far the worst team in the FBS.
Man, Hawaii went 6-7 last year. I took Hawaii because I didn't think Vanderbilt was, anything to write home about, and especially going on the road that far. Vanderbilt sucks. But geez, what is the score right now?
I don't even know. I stopped watching.
63-10. The game just ended. Holy crap.
Well, that's
Timmy
the thing.
Chang.
Well,
let's work on that.
Dude, they had too many, Nevada had a bunch of players leave, follow the coach, but they have winning culture instilled there, even without Jay Norvell.
Yeah.
Hawaii, this kind of reminds me of the Norm Chow era where, well, even worse because the administration is a complete mess. It is a complete mess. And you could see it. Dude, they played, I love Matty Ice in there saying SEC. They look like a high school team to me. I actually think if they played an FCS schedule, they wouldn't even sniff the playoffs. I don't even think they would have a winning record in the FCS. So
wow.
Unless Vanderbilt is way better. Now Vanderbilt did early on. I had some question marks about Vanderbilt, but they obviously got started playing some good ball, and I do think they're going to be better this year. But Hawaii, I'm on auto fade on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. That's why I locked them up on the under.
Man, if you're getting housed by 50 plus by Vandy, you are on auto fade until you prove otherwise. I think that's a good rule of thumb. Lost by 50 to Vandy equals auto fade.
GBO Farm saying SEC showed they're the best conference. They beat when the worst team in the league can do that. True, but I think that's going to be the worst team in the country. But yes, still a fantastic win.
A bowl team last year. Hey, it is what it is.
Well, did they go bowling? Because I thought the coach didn't they opt out of the bowl game?
6-7 because they played 13. They're Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is.
But still, they were bowl eligible, I believe. So, but anyway, dude, we got to get to the elephant in the room here. The elephant in the room. Let me just rattle off the score and go through the stat sheet. Patty C, we were dead on. Oh, actually, you were fucking wrong.
I was wrong, but I kind of had the feeling, but I just couldn't. I could not shake the score of last year. They lost by 49 last year. I said, okay, in my heart, everything's telling me that Pat Fitzgerald is going to go over to Ireland and get this win. I think it'll be a lot closer, but 49 points is 49 points. It's a big gap.
It doesn't matter. The next year is the next year with Fitzgerald. And that's why, I thought, reading the hard way. I read publications. I was a guest on other shows. Now it's not like I locked up the win total over on Northwestern, but I did take the over. I thought the amount of disrespect coming in at Northwestern and Pat Fitzgerald in that program was unbelievable. And a lot of people hated on Helinski. I know Helinski sucked last year, but I
have personally hated. I can go dig up clips of you shitting on Helinski.
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think you're thinking of Petrus. Because I remember last year I had to eat shit on the fact I thought he was one of the better transfer gets by Northwestern from South Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, I think you're thinking of their previous quarterback, who I shat on.
Who was that? The Clemson guy?
Yeah, Hunter Johnson.
Maybe
I shat on him all the time. Helinski I thought was a great get. If anything, I was shocked about how bad he was last year. So maybe you caught me in a frustration of he fucking sucks. But I actually thought
today. Well, let me pull it up his stats. He had 27 of 38 for 314 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions.
You know what stood out to me in that game? Well, there's so many things we could talk about here. Casey Thompson, maybe the Texas Longhorns should have kept him because Quinn Ewers right now or Hudson Card. It's gonna be Thompson looked legit. Those interceptions at the end, I'm not buying in too much. And then who kind of looked all right to me?
Who's that?
Pat Narduzzi. Yes, Nebraska's offense was flying. Remember his comments about Mark Whipple? Look, I look Nebraska last year. I thought was a pretty
What
damn
is
good.
this song we're playing here?
What are you talking about?
I'm getting some background music here. Oh, maybe. Oh, you know what it is? Never mind. It's on my end. Skip that.
Like, what the hell are you talking about? No, Mark Whipple, that offense did move, and it was funny that Scott Frost threw his OC a little bit under the bus after the game, but
yeah, kind of a bad look for Frost.
I thought that was a bitch move by Frost. But I'll say this: that defense last year was really good on the line of scrimmage, Nebraska. Right?
Let me say this. Let me say this real quick before we go any further. When I re-listened to that, he said our offensive staff. And upon second listen, it sounded a little bit like he was saying, "I'm part of that," Yeah. So I don't think he was completely throwing Whipple under the bus. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that I did worry about this early on. I saw it and I was watching it here in the studio, and I was like, Northwestern's owning the line of scrimmage. They need to commit more to it. If anything, I thought like them passing. I was like, dude. Nebraska last year, I was impressed when I watched all those losses. I thought Nebraska was great on the line of scrimmage. I don't know how they lost the games. I thought they were really good on the line of scrimmage. And I wonder about this because I made this case in the Discord channel, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. What Mark Whipple, even Pitt before Mark Whipple was extremely physical defensively. Last year, if you look at the defensive numbers,
I had the same thought.
They're kind of uncharacteristic. That like for a Pat Narduzzi coach team, like I get it, they had their wins, they had a good season, but they lost a little edge.
Up a couple times.
Yeah, they Western Michigan lit them up, right? Yeah. And I thought, man, that's crazy that a Narduzzi team would let Western Michigan do that on the line of scrimmage to them. Yeah. Well, clearly. You saw this here, and I'm not saying this is solely on Mark Whipple, but I do believe when you're that much of a passing team, you become pussies. There are little penalties there on. But what a fucking game plan! I thought Northwestern was just Pat Fitzgerald's one of the best coaches, and I'll say this: we're on the over. We both on. If you go back and listen to the Northwestern preview, we're both on the over.
Boom.
But I don't even think we're on the over. I think I think it's gonna destroy the over. I think they're contenders.
What's the number for them?
It was 4.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. Right. As of right now, I don't think Nebraska's bad. I think Northwestern just looked pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, I think both those teams, of course, overreaction will be Nebraska. I think Nebraska could still win 7-8 games. But I do think Northwestern is now, after watching that performance, I'm going to go ahead and say they're going to be a player in the Big Ten West. And I think all those games that we thought, hey, this team looked good. This is an automatic win against Northwestern. I don't think so anymore, man. I think that team. Yeah. I like the offensive game plan. I haven't liked an offensive game plan from Northwestern since fucking Darnell Autry and Steve Schnurr. All right. So
I wanted to go back at one of our online, friends / trash talk rivals was saying something about the Northwestern offense, and I was tempted to say, okay, every other year it's decent. It's not. They've been terrible for a minute. They've been sub 100 for like 4 or 5 years straight, even with their good seasons. So yeah. That is a very bad look for Nebraska to go off, or for Northwestern to hit them like that.
But I also thought, man, there's some players this year that impressed me on Northwestern's offense that I don't normally see. That run game, that big running back. I'm trying to blank on his name right now. Northwestern. I have the stat sheet right here. But shout out to the chat. It's moving along. Noah B, GBO Farms. What up, the Cap Wise? Big fans. Big fans here. Matty Ice.
The whole squad.
Who am I thinking of? The Northwestern running back. He fumbled.
Porter.
Cam Porter. That dude is a fucking beast. And it was driving me crazy. Even after he fumbled, I was like, dude, they need to just give him the rock, because no one on Nebraska's defense wanted that. When he would get contact, he would still go like 3 yards forward. Yeah. And it seemed like Fitzgerald knew that later on in the game, but wow, I mean, what a performance. We cashed in on that. I cashed in on that. Me and NC Nick took Northwestern. I think Terrell also did. Somebody,
I'm the only one that ate shit on that one.
But okay, so I mean, overreaction would be, hey, Northwestern can win the Big Ten West. But I actually think They're just a player. Like the Big Ten West is one of the most interesting divisions in college football this year because I think all of them are kind of on the same level. So it's going to be very interesting to watch each and every game.
I mean, especially with what Illinois did today. That means the entire division is. You might as well be in the ACC Coastal at this point. Everyone is like pretty much at the same level. It seems like.
True. At Illinois, I'm trying to understand that game. I watched every snap of that game. They look good, but also Wyoming looked awful. And it made me scared. I didn't bet this, but I took Wyoming over 5 wins.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just Illinois and Ryan Walters' defense being that good, or is the offense really that bad? Because if so, now the Wyoming defense I actually thought was decent. But if the Wyoming offense is that bad, and we're going to find out if Illinois is really that good or Wyoming is that bad, because there were some
Peasley 5 of 20 for 30 passing yards and an interception. That was their
and he's rocking one of those
attack.
big ass helmets, those new helmets looking like fucking dark helmet from Spaceballs. Dude, that guy drove me crazy today. Yeah, so
30 passing yards.
That offense. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to look too far into that. We'll find out on Friday when they take on Indiana, but part of me is like, I knew Chase Brown was really good. But part of me also thought, I mean, this was like a 7-3 game or a 14-3 game for a lot of the game. Like, I just thought, like, Wyoming, please try to stretch the field. Please throw a fucking pass that goes further than 10 yards. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like Tommy DeVito went off. He had less than 200 passing yards, but they did get run roughshod through 260 rushing yards for Illinois, 151 from Chase Brown.
Well, their defense was on the field. I actually thought the defense played decent. I thought even with that, they gave up 38 points, but I think, dude, they were on the field like the whole fucking game. And I don't know. I just think the Wyoming, I hope that Illinois is just better than what I think they are, and Wyoming can still get to over 5 wins. But I can tell you this, I am mighty concerned about my play on the over. I didn't bet it, but I'm just saying, like, I grade my records every year, and I'm saying I'm a little panicked when it comes to Laramie.
One's not looking so hot.
A little panicked when it comes to Laramie.
Here's the thing.
What's that?
We knew Bielema was going to get this thing going eventually. So maybe he's already a little ahead of schedule in year 2. And hey, Wisconsin, old school Wisconsin football is being reborn in Illinois.
Maybe. I don't know, man. Like DeVito, like, it's so funny watching the highlight clips. I watched every snap of that game, and I'm not ready to shit on Tommy DeVito because he was a game manager and they got the dub today.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like when they're watching the highlights, they were like, DeVito's time to shine. He went 27 of 37 for 194.
Yeah.
That's 5 yards a completion. All right. Now he didn't make any turnovers, but I'm just saying when I watched, I was never like, oh wow, what a play. You know what I mean? So
when you
I'm not buying in
quarterback, yeah, that ain't
I'm not buying in yet. This I was watching like a CBS halftime show. They're trying to make the guy look like the next Jeff George. I mean, I don't know. Pretty wild though. Pretty wild. So Illinois looked good.
Real quick,
what's that?
I want to put this stat in perspective too, since you mentioned yards per attempt. Again, Peasley, 20 attempts for 30 yards. 20 fucking attempts, and you managed 30 passing yards.
QB rating of 19.8 says Noah Beanick in the chat. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, it's just an unbelievable day. But let me.
Wait, was he the guy last year that was terrible for them too?
No, he was at Utah State and he transferred in.
Wait, didn't Craig Bowl produce like? Was he
Josh
responsible?
Allen? Yeah.
Carson, or he wasn't responsible for Carson Wentz, was he? That was after.
No, I think he was there. I think with Wentz. I think Wentz was his guy.
And then Josh Allen,
so.
And now he's like churning out clunker after clunker.
Well, I mean, they got destroyed in the portal. Their best receiver went to Texas. They got really fucked up in the portal. But still, I didn't think they'd be that bad.
Yeah,
I didn't think they'd be that bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, might be time to. I know we can overreact in week one here, but all right, folks, I want to tell you folks that the college football experience is brought to you by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by Odds Trader. Odds Trader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure that you get the best deal possible. It also has a bet tracker, so bettors can keep records of all your games and betting activity. So go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. OddsTrader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. We're also brought to you by Run Your Pool. Run Your Pool is the home of competition, bringing sports fans and their social circles together to compete, connect, and make every game matter more. Run Your Pool offers every type of game you can think of under the sun: pickup, survivor, fantasy pools. And get this, we've teamed up with Run Your Pool to host our own SGPN NFL Survivor contest, which is free to enter. Hop in now to reserve your spot. $500 cash plus a $250 gift card to the SGPN store to the winner. Sign up today over at play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. That's play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. We're also brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy platform today with millions of players. You probably already have a fantasy league on there. I know I do. They just passed 4 million different users. All right. With the NFL season right around the corner, Sleeper is the first sports contest game built into the fantasy experience. So right now on your mobile phone, join our listener group on Sleeper at sleeper.com/SGP, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. Once again, that is sleeper.com/SGP, and you'll get a $100 match. All right, we are back, and we got a lot of games to talk about. Hop in the chat. Let's talk about it. Was that win yesterday? Shout out to Wesley Krieger. Shout out to the whole chat. Nick Holton there. Patty C, the next game up that I want to talk about is Austin P in Western Kentucky. That was actually a game, and I'm going to go ahead and say I am loving my under on Western Kentucky because I own that ticket. That's a real ticket that I bought. I know Western Kentucky won today, so that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't think they're very good after watching them today. Now, obviously first game of the season, but Austin P, probably going to be decent in the FCS. I was a little more. They were better than what I thought. I actually got the game wrong on the pick.
Me too.
But I'm a bit concerned about Western Kentucky moving forward. But I'm on the under, so I should be happy with that.
You know what's surprising, I guess, is the offense still was decent. I mean, obviously, Zappy was probably throwing for like 500 yards a game, so 279 is like, shockingly bad, even though for the rest of the country, that'd be a respectable performance. But against Austin P, you want to win by more than 11 points. The spread closed on tally site at like 27.5. I can't believe I stuck with it. I got a little nervous because I was picking late, on tally site. So I kind of stuck with some of the original spreads, but they were moving really fast. Like, from Wednesday to Friday, everything changed. So it kind of threw me off. That's my disclaimer.
Actually, I forgot. Noah Penick brings up a good point. Western Kentucky plays at Hawaii next week. Lay the points. The Hilltoppers are going to look like fucking Alabama next week on the island against Timmy Chang. Isaac Walker in the chat making fun of the Hawaii quarterbacks. Yeah, I mean, just unbelievable how bad that program is. Austin P looked good though, something to monitor in the Ohio Valley. I did an FCS episode, and this year I will be giving you FCS Friday shows. So keep an eye out on the governors. Let's talk about my lock that hit. UNLV. Holy shit. UNLV waxed Idaho State. And by the way, apologize to the DFS people that played with us or might have listened to my lineup. I took Harrison Bailey to play, the former 5-star, I think it was. He sucks. He fucking sucks. I know it was just one game, but to me, you're playing Idaho State. The other kid, was it Brumfeld? Looked amazing, yeah. Dude. When Harrison Bailey came in, he looked like shit. He looked like the worst of the three. They played 3 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I don't know how good UNLV really is because I think Idaho State might be really bad, but we cashed in on UNLV.
Brumfield had an amazing stat line.
Dude, he had like 400 at halftime.
Well,
he had they had 400 total yards at halftime, I think. This was disgusting,
dude. But I'll tell you that 35 points in the second quarter. I was nervous after the first quarter because it was the line moved to
like 20,
24, 24 and a half
or something. Yeah, something like that. No, it was something in that.
Yeah. And then so I was like, 3-point game here. UNLV sucks. And then boom, that second quarter. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Brumfield looking like Joe Montana.
Brumfield, and even with that though, there were some passes that I said that's not going to work on anybody but Idaho State. I was like, and look, he had a great game. I don't want to take that away from him. He'll have that forever. I haven't done shit. I'm a piece of shit to just sit over here and pick games. All right, so look, you just threw for fucking 400 yards in like the first half against a Division I football team. Respect, but I don't think that's going to work. I don't think it's going to work against some other teams. Next up, we got to talk about Jim fucking Mora Jr.
Talk about bad breaks, man.
Dude,
and still respectable performance.
No, like okay. If you didn't watch the UConn game, their 4-star transfer from Penn State, Taquan Roberson, on the second drive of the game, they were already up 7-0. He had a rushing touchdown, like a quarterback sneak at the 1. And it looked like when I saw the play, first thing I thought was, I was like, I think he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
I think he tore his ACL or something.
Got jacked. Yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully that's not the case. And hopefully he just hyperextended or something. I don't know, but oh my God, the backup, man. And he's just a freshman, but man, those are some painful passes I had to watch. They had to get creative. I thought it was a great game plan that the UConn Huskies had. I was impressed by the offensive coordinator because I thought they even, considering the situation they were in with the freshman quarterback, the backup coming in, I thought they tried their best to get creative with using him where he wouldn't hurt them. So
yeah.
Kudos.
I mean, his second pass of the game was an interception. It was like, oh my gosh, it's like, so obvious, like that they're done. Like,
dude, I mean, they actually cut that thing to 24-20 in the fourth quarter with like 5 minutes left, and I'm like, oh my God, I was super impressed with Jim Mora Jr. I was super impressed with the whole coaching staff and just in general the team's physicality. To consider that the UConn team we saw last year, you could like drive a truck through the holes. I was completely impressed, and I'm hoping when I load up social media tomorrow or whatever that I find out Roberson's only out 2 weeks or something because they have Central Connecticut State on deck. Because I'll tell you this, they play Michigan in 2 weeks, and if that freshman is there,
they're getting rolled either way in that. Give Roberson and for that reason he's got 3 weeks because they should be Central Connecticut.
If you're a Utah State fan, you got lucky today because I really believe if Taquan Roberson plays the game, I think UConn wins that game.
14-0 through the first quarter.
Dude, I think they win that game if he's there, man. And that fan base was shocked when it was 14-0. It was quiet. It was quiet at Maverick Stadium. But they get it done. They survive onto Utah State getting smacked by Bama next week. Noah Beanick, Zion Turner had a 16.9 QBR.
Well, let me tell you
what.
It's
the kid's first game. I don't want to rag on him too much, but it's just tough for Jim. I feel bad for Jim Mora because I feel like they were in a good spot with Roberson to really pull off a magical week 0 upset. But what were you gonna say, man?
Well, I was just gonna say, as far as Zion's at quarterback, that there was a much better Zion at quarterback as an attempt at a transition here to the Jacksonville State game against
Zion Webb. Dude, he was a baller a couple years ago when he was healthy. I remember not last year. He was out for the season last year. The year prior, he played at Florida State. I remember watching that game and saying, "This guy's good." I mean, he was originally, I think, a Clemson recruit. But
speedster
Rich Rodriguez made me look like a fool today. I took Stephen F. Austin.
I did too.
Well, normally Rich Rod teams take time to really like show how good they are. They normally they struggle like the first year or two.
You know what? Let me just be racist here real quick.
What?
If he just goes in, if he just puts the black quarterback in right off the bat, if he doesn't put Rhett Rodriguez or who are the guys?
That's not racist.
It's not racist.
Racist would be like, I hate that. No, that's just saying he should use, because his
Fast
system uses
quarterbacks.
a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. Please do not have fucking I don't know. Do not have
Eli Manning running the read option.
Yeah, that's not racist though.
I
See?
know.
You're part of the problem. Everyone thinks when I go do stand up and if you say anything about anything, it's like, oh, you're racist. No. Racist is when you have hatred behind it. That is not racist.
It's just pointing out the obvious.
Yes, obviously he should. I mean, but Zion Webb's a beast, man.
And
He's a fucking beast.
If you
With
had
or without
John
Rich Rod.
Rice Plumlee, then it would work there too. In fact, it did.
But there's
when he
not
had him
many.
at Ole Miss.
There's not many white quarterbacks that offense really flourishes with. You know what I mean?
True.
And that's not racist. That's just fact.
Yeah, it's just genetics.
So yeah, Rich Rod, he looked really good. Stephen F. Austin, top 10 FCS team. They look like shit. And next up we got, Duquesne. They scored 7. I barely covered. I covered by a half a point in this game.
Yeah, me too. And that I don't think. No, did I make that a lock? I made one of these a lock. I don't think that was my lock.
But Florida State was impressive. I thought. I mean,
that was
Duquesne.
a lock, and it covered.
You're playing Duquesne, so you know. But I guess that was I think it was impressive. Like the first drive of the game, I remember I was here with Stacking the Money Green, and I go, "Yeah, this game's over." I see the movement on the defensive line and linebacker play for Duquesne. I go, "This I don't need to. We don't really need to watch much of this game."
Yeah, I mean,
it was a lot like when I watched Hawaii today. I go, "Whoa, who is their safety? Who is he?" That's like having me right now at safety. Anyway,
that's a problem with week 0. It's football, but there's 1 or 2 games on at a time, or a couple, and a lot of them are going to be shitty. So,
yeah, I'll tell you this, man. I was really impressed with Florida A&M.
Yeah, and not impressed with UNC.
Yeah, well, I think the 2 overreactions that we're going to have this week that everyone's going to be talking about is Nebraska and UNC. I don't think we should panic on either. I don't think we should panic yet on either. But I do think Florida A&M showed some guts today, and I like what Willie Simmons did from a coaching standpoint. There were a lot of plays I liked that they really drew up, and I think if they get these players back for this upcoming week, this upcoming Sunday, they play Jackson State and Deion Sanders, so that will be a pretty damn good game, I think, considering they have everybody. So
yeah. Like with the amount of players that they had out, that super impressive performance.
What's that?
I was going to say the score at the end, it seems like it's a bigger blowout than it actually was.
Yeah, I agree. Noah's in the chat saying Hawaii didn't even cover a receiver at the line of scrimmage. That's true. Did you see that play?
No, I missed it.
Oh man, it's bad. They just left the receiver uncovered.
Oh boy, that's like freshman football in high school kind of mistake.
We're gonna talk the rest of the games right now, but I gotta get us paid one more time. I want to tell you that we're brought to you by Trade Coffee. Trade Coffee connects customers to the freshest and best tasting coffee they've ever made at home by partnering with the country's best craft roasters. These are independent businesses from big cities and small towns, and Trade customers are truly impactful for these independent roasters. And Trade Coffee is expert tasted. Trade Coffee has a team that actually taste tests thousands of different coffees. They keep over 450 different kinds live and ready to ship out to you every single day. Look, there is no one perfect coffee, but there is a perfect coffee for you, and let Trade's human powered algorithm find it for you. Right now, Trade is offering new subscribers a total of $30 off your first order, plus free shipping when you go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free, people. We're also brought to you by Babbel. For most of us, learning a second language in high school or college wasn't exactly a high point in our academic career. Now, thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that's sold more than 10 million subscriptions, there's just a addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. And I think this is cutting edge here because I got like fucking ADD. I wouldn't be able to handle this. But boom, 15-minute lessons. That makes it pretty easy to learn a new language on the go. They offer 14 different languages: Spanish, French, Italian, German. Look, you're gonna be 15 minutes a day. Come on, what are you doing? Get in there.
And Colby's attention span for anything but college football and college basketball is about 15 minutes, and that's being generous. But you know, he can watch 20 hours of college football straight, no problem.
Very accurate. Very accurate. You know, you get me in there trying to watch these shitty dramas. You know what I mean? Like my wife will throw on one of these terrible fucking movies that's just trying to make me buy into these characters, and I just sit there and say, I can't get into this. You know what I mean?
10 minutes.
Yeah,
15 minutes stops.
Yeah. Like, can you show me an old Hawaii football game from 2002 with Nick Rolovich?
Yeah. Picture in picture. Let's go.
But look, check out Babbel. All right. Right now you can save up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/SGP. That's babbel.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Elias. It's almost the start of NFL season. We love this time of year. And if you're into sports betting or fantasy, then you need a competitive edge to win. And that's why I highly recommend the Elias Game Plan app. Look, Elias, we're talking about the Elias Sports Bureau here. This is their own app. They're the official statisticians for the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB. They're legit, all right? And the app will give you player news, league validated player stats, team records, expert game analysis for betting, help you build your own fantasy team. It's got all that. So take my advice and download the Elias Game Plan app today. All right, we're here. We're talking. Patty C, Charlotte. Why did I take Charlotte plus 7.5? Okay, there's two things that happened here.
The hook gotcha.
There's two things that happened here. Chris Reynolds, Charlotte's best player and perhaps the best quarterback. You can make a case he's the best quarterback in the Conference USA. He got injured after the first drive when they went up 7-0. He got injured after I think it actually was technically in the second drive, but I think he only had one incompletion at the time, and they were moving the ball on FAU. That's not an excuse. Because at Charlotte's defense, if you could have seen me and NC Nick's text chain, which next time we will try our best to be in Discord, the Charlotte defense, it's approaching Hawaii level. It's approaching Hawaii level. I mean, at least the players look the part. Hawaii's defense, the players don't even look like they're FBS players. But Charlotte, the miscommunication. There was FAU's first drive after Chris Reynolds scored and went up 7-0. There was 3 straight plays that could have been 80-yard touchdowns that weren't. I just sat there and was like, how? Who? How does that happen?
By FAU you're talking about?
Yeah, they didn't capitalize on that first drive. But I'm saying 3 straight plays that should have been 80-yard touchdowns. And I'm sitting there saying, have they ever practiced defense in their fucking life? Me and Sean are watching the game here, and Sean's even saying I don't know. Every play is 7 yards. Even plays that weren't looking like they were someone would bust through the backfield, and you're like, oh, they're gonna get the running back. He would still find a way to get 7 yards. Charlotte's defense is fucking terrible, and Chris Reynolds, even if he's healthy, I think they would have actually been way more competitive in that game, and maybe we would have hit the cover. But I think that defense, I don't know. I think Will Healy might need to be on the hot seat, buddy.
Yowzers!
How can your defense be that? They were that bad last year, but a lot of it was they had injuries. There was COVID situations. So I thought, okay, he deserves a break there. No, this is game 1, and they looked awful defensively. Absolutely awful defensively.
Well, could it be N'Kosi Perry? What is he? A former, presumably 4-star from Miami, coming over with Willie Taggart. Are we just underselling them and acting like they're chopped liver, or maybe can we give some credit to them?
Sure, but I still think every play could have been 20 yards. When you don't see that a lot in college football, even though you see some high-powered offenses, every single play was almost 20 yards. I felt for Florida Atlantic. I was just oh my God.
N'Kosi Perry's average per attempt was 11.6, and Larry McCammon's average rush, their leading rusher, was 8.4 yards per attempt. So it's close to 10 on average when they're either running or passing.
I really have a hard time watching football like that. I would much rather all day give me the Big Ten West. Like when I'm seeing 20 fucking like the tackling, the amount of missed tackles I in that Charlotte secondary and linebacking core, it was very painful to watch. Like I was just like, okay, I can't watch, like that's the worst kind of football to watch in my opinion, is like just terrible defensive tackling. No one's in unison. Like there's busted
I watched
coverages
UVA
here.
all last year. Believe me, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely awful. What else do we got? We got North Texas and UTEP. North Texas, Seth Luttrell. Let's make fullbacks great again. That is my sling game of the week, Patty C, because I want to tell folks out there that look, it's college football season, which means you need the unbeatable coverage of Sling TV starting at $35 a month. Sling has all the biggest games on the biggest channels like ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN3, SEC Network, ACC Network, Fox, and the Big Ten Network, all for the best price. You can stream it on any device, record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. You can pause or change your service at any time. Check out sling.com for special offers. Sling, the live TV you love for a price you'll love. Try us today. North Texas, probably going to be a player in the CUSA. Yes, Austin Une, questionable at throwing the ball, but I like the line of scrimmage. I like the defense. They got like 5 roughing the passer penalties, I feel like, out of like 10 plays in a row. But I like the physicality of the defense, and I like the offensive line and the run game. I think they're going to be probably in contention for, I think there's a tier of UTSA and UAB, but after that, wouldn't be surprised. I mean, obviously FAU looked good too. So it's week 1. We overreact. Nevada, New Mexico State. Fuck you, New Mexico State. Why were you starting the wrong quarterback? That redheaded fire crotch guy. He can throw the ball all over the fucking field. All right. The Princeton kid. They got, he's way better than what is my other guy's name? Pavia.
Frakes is the Gavin Frakes, and then Diego Pavia.
Yeah, Pavia. Look, Pavia in the first quarter I thought looked all right. Some of those plays weren't his fault, but the other guy's just better.
3 picks is 3 picks.
The other guy's just better. The other guy's just flat out better. So we've corrected it. We should have won the game today. Nevada gets the dub. Shout out to Ken Wilson getting his first win. I know he's a hardcore Nevada guy, and he waited a long time for his opportunity. So shout out to him.
Let me ask you this: How are my Wolfpack looking on this over? Good start here, right? I'm not gonna sit here and listen to you and Nick trash my Wolfpack. When we're starting out 1-0,
if they beat Texas State next week in Reno,
yeah,
I'll give you the cred, because I don't want to say they look good today, but they were good enough.
Passing yards.
They were good enough. Good. Yeah, they were good enough to get the dub. So shout out to them. Hey, I hope you listened to me on Alabama State, because your boy this morning gave away Alabama State. Yes, they took down Howard. Name's Dundee.
That line moved toward Howard, and Terrell had convinced me to go to Howard, but when it moved toward Howard, I said, I'm going to Alabama State.
Yeah, buddy. That game stayed at the same score for it was like the TV froze for like an hour. So, but Levante Chenault caught a touchdown, former Colorado Buffalo. I think Alabama State, if they continue to go, they got to work out some things, but they might be a player in the SWAC. Then you had Mercer destroy Morehead State, which I was on. Shout out to Mercer, getting it done. I was on that one. Somebody wanted Morehead, and he went. I always
want Morehead.
He went with Morehead State. Yeah.
I did zero preparation. Like, those are games I should not be picking, because I have no effing clue what I'm talking about between Mercer and Morehead. I'm just going on what they did last year. Zero prep, and it clearly did not work out for me.
Well, you knew the games were on the slate. There's a lot of bullshit excuses right there. You knew we only had a certain amount.
Go on here.
Well, on a week 0, we're gonna go all the fucking way. All right, we're gonna go all the way.
You could have told me on Thursday we're picking Jamestown, and I would have been like, okay, this is par for the course with Colby Dent.
I wanted to. They didn't have a line, or we would have. Crazy bastard. All right, I would have, dude. I saw fucking Florida Memorial and Edward Waters were playing today, if I had a line, we would have covered it. All right. This is the college football experience. All right. On the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I don't know if you know that.
Touche.
Final game, Vandy, Hawaii. Hawaii's the worst team in the nation. Shout out to Vandy and Clark Lee. I know a win like this, because they only had 2 wins by like 5 points last year. This has got to feel good for them. So shout out to Clark Lee and the whole Vandy program. And what better time to celebrate? You're in fucking Hawaii now. Go get a pina colada. All right. Hit the beach before you get out of there.
Yards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dude, this is going to dilute the stats. When we go back next year and we preview Vanderbilt, this is they're going to look like a great running team, or like a decent running team.
Top 25 rushing offense.
Look, everyone that this is the problem when you look at like, hey, this rush offense, this pass offense, everyone on Hawaii's schedule, that I'm telling you, they're going to be fool's gold. The statistics are going to be straight up lying to you. All right. I remember
need to have like median stats, not just the average. They need to have like median rush yards per game.
Yeah. I mean, it's just brutal. But, all right, folks. And that's it. We covered all the games that happened today, right? Did I miss any? No, we covered them all, right? Let me double check. Make sure. Yeah, we got them all. This week though, this upcoming week, it's going to be bananas. We got the backyard brawl. We got all these big time matchups. So stay tuned. We're coming all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Boom. All right. Subscribe to the College Football Experience, and remember to tell a friend. Check us out on YouTube. Also subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/the college experience. Give us a follow on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. Patty C's on Twitter at Patty C831. And please, if you can get over to iTunes and give us a 5-star review, looking at you people out there that I told to bet UNLV, get over there, please. Just a fucking minute out of your day. A lot of fun. I know I probably told you to bet New Mexico State too, but hey, sometimes you just got to. It's like a quarterback. You got to forget about that last interception. All right, so
short memory.
Yeah, short memory, folks. Subscribe. Check it out. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. NFL is right around the corner. Check out the NFL Gambling Podcast. Check out the MLB Gambling Podcast. Shout out to Noah Beanick, doing a lot of great work with the social media for the College Football Experience and the MLB Gambling Podcast. Check out all that good stuff. All right, folks, until Monday, I can't wait to talk these games we got this week. We're finally here. I am ready to talk about my Pirates taking down NC State. Let's go, baby. And I got a lot of other games I want to talk about. All right, folks, this is the College Football Experience Week 0 reaction show. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
What the fuck did I do wrong, Tom?
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Nothing is over! Nothing! You just don't turn it off!
Coaching, our coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked in the second half. It sucked.
They're begging us. Please have a party. Feed us drinks. Get us laid.